Hey, how's it going? My name is Annalise and I'm going to talk about Supanova today. I don't know if Supanova is overseas or not. If you don't know what Supanova is, it is a different version of Comic-Con basically. It's the easiest way to explain it. It's got a whole bunch of stuff. So I went to Supanova for 3 days because that's how long it runs for. Personally, I didn't choose to go. I got dragged there. I'll insert some photos of my costume that I did and also of the costume that I did for my boyfriend, and I'll briefly talk about them because they took a while to do. Very annoying. So I did 2 costumes. My costume, I went as Bowsette because the memes for it are gold, and my boyfriend went as a Fallout NCR Ranger from New Vegas, which personally I don't know anything about because I haven't played New Vegas. But so start off with my partner's because his was the hardest. I don't know if I have any progress photos of my one. I think I have some somewhere. I'll have to dig them up. Apologies because all of these are going to be in portrait, not landscape, because I wasn't planning on doing this. Okay, thanks, bye. So this one took the longest because I did a coat with lining and then also made the helmet, mask and chest plate out of EVA foam, which I've never worked with before. It was super hard considering I had never worked with it before and I didn't have the proper tools to be able to do it. So unfortunately I didn't have a heat gun, but at my boyfriend's place they have gas heating, which I don't know what a heat gun's like, but it heated it up and it was moldable and it was beautiful and everything worked for it. So the first thing that I did for his one was to make the coat, and then once I got all that finished it was more moving on to all of the other stuff. So while I made all the stuff out of EVA foam, he had weapons that he painted to try and make them the props from the game, which that's okay. He's not a very crafty guy, I'm a very crafty gal. It all worked out. So the first thing that I did was the gas mask, which I wish wasn't the first thing that I did because as I got through it further I learnt more and knew how to do things better. The easiest thing to do in my opinion was the chest plate, and the hardest thing to do was the mask because it's got such little intricate little details. I did use a template for all of this stuff from Etsy. It was really helpful. It had heaps of stuff. It had a shoulder plate, it had hand armor, it had the chest plate, the helmet and the gas mask, and also came with a laser rifle one, which we didn't have enough time to be able to do. If you're interested about that at all, I will leave a link to that in the description because it was super good and he has a lot of other stuff on there. The only thing that we didn't do from the template was the communication box, which is on the left side of the helmet. The right side of the helmet? The left side. It's on the side of the helmet. So on the right side of the helmet there's a communication box, and we didn't do the actual template for that because it's way too difficult for me and I was just running out of time and I was stressing about it. So I created basic shapes and cut them out and fixed them and made it look decent, and it turned out really well, which I was really happy with. And then once I had just gotten all the pieces together we had to figure out how to get it on and off. So we found some old lanyards that were lying around the place and cut them up and got the clips off them. So we were able to clip the gas mask on and off at the back, and also we used some inside the helmet to be able to clip them all together, which worked really well. And the only downside to it all was the fact that he couldn't actually breathe through it, and I did end up having to cut holes in it, which sort of worked, sort of didn't work. All in all it was okay, but it was just a bit annoying. So I just want to apologise because I stopped filming this at one point and then went back to filming it, and everything is blurry for the next part, and I'm so sorry, but that's just how it is because I thought it was focused and apparently it wasn't, so sorry. Moving on to my outfit, I started with the bodysuit that I was in, which I got a fake leather for and then lined it with a gold lining. Luckily I had a roll of this at home which I had previously owned, so that was really helpful for me. In the bottom of the bodysuit it has press studs just like any normal bodysuit, and so it's really easy to get on and on. Then it has the zipper at the back of it and a hook and eye at the top just to make sure everything sits like really nice and neat. Other than that, it's got the gold trim at the top, and I painted a glass oval that I just got off of, I think, eBay. I got a whole pack of them which I painted with blue nail polish on the back and used Lumiere's workshop. Can't remember what they're called off the top of my head, but they have a foam clay which was really helpful. We got all our supplies from there. I'll leave a link in the description for all of their stuff. They're super good. They're an Australian based cosplay company, super good. They have everything that you need. They've got books, they've got a starter pack, which we got the starter pack to do our stuff with. It was really helpful. So I used the foam clay from that to make a ring around the oval, which then got painted gold. It's not in my picture unfortunately because it did pop off and I didn't have time to stick it back on, which is really disappointing, but had a meter of fabric which I hemmed the sides and gathered the top and sewed that to a waistband, which I had a button at the front so I could get it on and off, and I didn't attach it to the bodysuit because I thought that was going to be way too annoying. And I had a strip of black fabric at the bottom and then a smaller ruffle on top of that just to give it some extra length. And then I had the two, I don't know what they're called, but like the two like semicircles of gathered fabric at the side. If you look at like Princess Peach and Daisy and that, they have them there, and I didn't want a lot of them, if you look up costumes for it, have like a pillow almost, but I didn't want that. I just wanted it to be like nice and flowy and gathering. So I just made that up, and I didn't use a template for this. I just did everything myself. It was pretty easy, I'm not gonna lie. For the bodysuit I did use the pattern for it that I bought, so I will put all the details to that in the description. Also for the coat that you see, I did use a pattern for that as well. So if you're wondering what I used, I'll put in the description. It was a costume one that I have borrowed from a friend, so I don't know if you can still get it or not, but it was a Matrix jacket, which is kind of interesting, but it made an alright jacket for me, so I'm happy with that. The only thing that I really struggled with for Bowsette was the crown, which took me, the actual crown part, doing EVA foam took me about 2 seconds to do. Super easy. Used the clay foam to make the eyes and the balls on top of the crown. The thing that I found difficult was the mushroom inlay that it has inside. I made a template myself and I did about 3 goes at doing that and I just couldn't get it down, so I ended up looking it up, found a tutorial online. It was super easy. Found the template for that, downloaded it, cut it out, and I did it in like 3 seconds, so I was super mad about that, but in the end it worked out. And then I had my shell that I had, which I left till the last minute, which was really disappointing for me. Because I left it to the last minute, I didn't have time to let my clay foam set properly, so they were all still wet once I had painted them, which made them fall off. So I've lost 5 spikes out of my 14, which is real sad, but it's okay at the same time. So I made a Bowser shell, which I made a base of cardboard. I don't really know if cardboard was the best thing to make it out of, for me it worked, and it was the only thing that I had available to me at the time, so I just used it and it worked, so that was okay. I did try to make it into a backpack, but because I had done it really late, I couldn't get the mechanic to open it properly. So it was a backpack, there is a zipper on it, but I could only really fit my phone in it and my wallet if I really tried. Putting my wallet in it and getting it out all the time did affect it a lot because it wasn't big enough to be able to fit it. So it did actually end up cracking my paint, which I wasn't too worried about, but that did happen. The other thing which was annoying was the straps. I didn't have enough of the EVA foam to make the base of my shell, so I ended up going out and I bought a just cheapy yoga mat from Kmart, which really, it did work, which was really good and really useful, but it was quite thin, and what they had done was stuck 2 layers of it together. So with having my straps on it, it ended up pulling apart, because what I did was do small little strips, put them through, have them in a loop, and I had a metal bit which I could clip some detachable straps on and off of, and they ended up just absolutely pulling apart. So the first day that I was walking around, it just killed itself. The straps just fell off and I lost spikes. It was just all hell breaking loose, but I ended up getting it done and it was really good. And yeah, it was really fun. It's really interesting to do because I haven't done something like it before, but it was really good and lots of people really enjoyed it. There were a few Bowsettes around, but everyone was dressed up differently, which was really cool. And in the photos, my stockings are absolutely destroyed on one side. That was not planned, that just happened. I was going for the really nice clean look and it just fell apart. The other thing that I did have is I did have some straps on my arm, which were a last minute make. I just made like a half sleeve out of the same material my jumpsuit was made out of, and then put a strip of the gold lining up the top with some elastic in it to be able to keep it on my arm. I wasn't really wanting to do the spikes everywhere, like in all the illustrations of Bowsette there is. Just did not want that, so I just didn't do that. And I did quickly make up a leather choker as well, which was super easy to do. I just did a rectangle and put some press studs in it. Super quick, super easy. I also did paint 2 other ovals with the blue colour as well, and then let those dry, and then painted on with some just clear nail polish. I did stick some old earrings that I had and never wore onto the back of those and created 2 earrings as well, and that worked out really well. Looked really cool, although in this photo I forgot them, so I'll insert another photo of me wearing them along with the choker that I made, which I also had forgotten to put in this photo, but that is okay. To finish off the costume, I just wore some heels and I stuck a clip to the bottom of my crown, and it could just easily clip in and out of my hair, which was super good, and the boys really enjoyed that, putting that on their heads. All around, it was really fun. It was a really good experience. I haven't been to anything like this before, nor have I dressed up in public before. It was super fun, and I Hey, it's me again. I totally forgot to do anything to sign off this video, so I'm just jumping back in to say thank you for watching.